Okay, so this is one very important concept of leap year. Okay, so ideally you might be feeling that leap year is something divisible by 4, which means if you do something like this is divisible by 4, so you are saying it as a leap year, right? This is a leap year you are saying, right? But there are other scenarios that we need to consider, not just divisibility by 4. Okay, so divisibility by 4 is okay, not divisibility by 4, so it is definitely not a leap year, right? It is not a leap year. But suppose I give you something called as 1900. This guy is, now if you see this guy 1900, right? If you try to divide it by 400, what do we get? Which means, see, let me just not like it, not directly 400. Let us try to divide it by 4 first. Okay, so 4 is 16, you get something called as 30, you get 7, you get 28, you get 2, and you get 0, you get this, right? So you know that it is getting divisible, so you would say that it is a leap year, but this is not a leap year. Okay, whenever you have something in terms of hundreds, the actual process is 1900 has to be first divisible by 100. You have to first divide it by 100. Okay, you have to divide it by 100 and then 4. It is actually you have to divide it by 400. Okay, it should be divisible by 400. It should be divisible by 400. Only then you can say that it is a leap year. That is why 2000 is a leap year, because this is getting divisible by 400. Okay, 1900 just now you saw this was divisible by 4, so you could have said it is a leap year, but that is wrong. Am I clear on this? Great. So you have to first check if it is divisible by 4 or not. If it is not divisible, then it is straight away not a leap year, right? But now if you understand, so we understood, right? So your most important check is this 400 wala. Okay, now suppose this check is not passed, then you can check something called as with 100. Suppose it is divisible with 100, then it is this wala case, right? It is this wala case. So if it is this wala case, what will happen? It will be not a leap year, and then you can check with 4. Okay, so that is why what we will be doing is, we'll suppose you got an input, you took an input from this scanner class, right? You took the input of year, like you took int year equals to int dot next int, right? You will write all the same lines for scanner and you will take input. Then what you'll have to do is, you'll have to first check if my year is divisible by 400 or not. And for divisibility we have to use mod. Why? Because see, suppose 16 is divisible by 2, it means the remainder will be 0. If anything is divisible by anything, the remainder is 0, right? And how do we get remainder? We get by modulus, correct? So you can write it as, if my year is divisible by 400, then I can print that it is a leap year, What can be my next condition? My next condition should be else if suppose it is not divisible by 400, then you should check for another negative thing. Another negative thing is what? If that particular year is divisible by 100, then it is pakka that it is not a leap year. And suppose this also didn't happen, then you check finally else if year is divisible by 4 or not. This condition should be actually the last checkable condition. That is what I'm trying to explain you. Okay, then you can print it as leap year, correct? And suppose any of this condition does not pass, then it is of course what? It is of course not leap year. Understood? So that is why this condition is important. You have to understand this whole condition. See, going forward, what we can do is, we can also what can I tell you? We can also combine all these conditions into one condition. Okay, so that I will be doing here. What I will be doing is, see, you try to understand in which case it is leap year. Here it is leap year, right? So first is pakka. If it is divisible by 400, it has to be a leap year. So what you can write is, if my year is divisible by 400 equals to 0, then it is pakka puri a leap year, correct? Then you can say or what? Or if my year is divisible by 4, then also I can say it is a leap year, correct? But in that case, you should check that number is not divisible by 100. So see, what we are trying to do is we are trying to put all the conditions in one condition, okay? Because we have learned operators, right? So what I write? I wrote if year is divisible by 400, then you will put it as 0. This is the pakka puri. Now these two we are trying to combine in one, okay? These two we are trying to combine in one. What is saying? If year is divisible by 4, then it is a leap year, and if it is divisible by 100, then not leap year. So what we'll do? We'll do something called as and year mod 100 not equals to 0. Knowingly we will write not equals to 0. Understood? Knowingly we will write not equals to 0. So these two cases will give you leap year case. Else what you can directly write? Else you can write not leap year. Not leap year. Okay. So this is why this question is important. How do you understand leap year cases? Okay. So here are certain numbers that I can give you which you can see and check. Okay. So certain numbers that will be 1600. This will be a leap year. Suppose I give you 1700, not a leap year. Suppose I give you something as 2020, this is a leap year. But suppose I give you 2100, this is not a leap year. Okay. Great. Thank you.